From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. NASA's Artemis 2 lunar mission is expected to swing around the dark side of the moon this afternoon and make history in the process. The mission is already the furthest that humans have ever traveled from the Earth. ABC's Rena Roy has more on the mission.
They're expected to reach their maximum distance from Earth at around 7 o'clock tonight. The crew will actually go behind the moon, and that's expected to happen at around 6:44 Eastern Time. And it's at that point that they are expected to lose communications with NASA Mission Control for about 40 minutes.
The mission is going to use a free return trajectory to loop around the moon and come back to Earth without landing, passing 6,550 kilometers above the surface before heading home. The flight marks NASA's first crewed lunar mission since Apollo 17 and is a key step towards future landings near the moon's south pole. U.S. President Donald Trump is expanding threats against Iran as a deadline for a deal approaches. Trump said Iran could, quote, be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. The threat comes after Iran rejected a ceasefire proposal instead, calling for a permanent end to the war. The U.S. is warning it could target bridges and power plants if Iran does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz by 8 p.m. tomorrow. New polling suggests Canadians are increasingly open to developing closer ties with Europe. A survey of almost 4,000 people finds 1 in 4 support the idea of joining the European Union, while most say it's worth exploring. Researchers say the shift comes as trade tensions with the United States continue. They say Canadians are rethinking reliance on the U.S. and are looking for more stable partnerships around the world. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he supports stronger ties with Europe, but not full membership. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says its agents in Canada don't carry firearms following questions about a potential ICE presence at the upcoming FIFA World Cup games.
An ICE spokesperson says Homeland Security investigations personnel will work with their Canadian partners to track narcotics, weapons smuggling, and human trafficking operations. The spokesperson says those agents don't conduct operational activities in Canada, such as executing search warrants or making arrests. ICE currently has 5 offices in Canada, including in Toronto and Vancouver, cities which will host World Cup games this summer. Toronto City Council last month passed a motion opposing the presence of any ICE agents at the upcoming games. Diana Musina, The Canadian Press.
The Associated Press is offering buyouts to U.S. journalists as it reshapes its newsroom. The company is shifting away from print and is focusing on video and digital reporting. The Journalists Union says more than 120 staff have received buyout offers, while the AP says it aims to cut less than 5% of its global workforce. This is The Canadian Press. In sports, it's a World Series rematch at the Rogers Centre in Toronto, where the Blue Jays will open a 3-game series against the LA Dodgers. Max Scherzer goes to the mound for Toronto, which has lost 4 straight. The Dodgers beat the Blue Jays in extra innings in Game 7 to win the World Series. A big blow for the Blue Jays as catcher Alejandro Kirk will undergo surgery tomorrow to repair a fractured left thumb. Kirk was injured in Friday night's 5-4 extra inning loss to the Chicago White Sox after taking a foul tip off his catching hand and went on the 15-day DL on Saturday. The Winnipeg Jets continue their playoff push, hosting the Seattle Kraken. Winnipeg has won 3 of the last 4 and sits 3 points behind the final Western Conference wildcard spot, while Seattle has dropped 4 straight and trails to the Jets by 3 points. It's one of 4 games on the ice tonight. The Toronto Raptors, 115-101 loss to Boston last night, return home to face Miami tomorrow. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.